Okay, so no, it's okay. So this 29, 29, so 20, 27. So good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Doc. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, welcome back to our second lecture. And then I'm still using I haven't hooked on to the institutional one. So those breaks we can experience it today as well. Till I understand what the institutional, only the institutional one, the implications of it. So bear with me as it will just behave like yesterday. If there are breaks, we'll come back and join. No problem. But I'm getting a feedback. Is it coming from Abigail?
Yes, Doc.
There's a feedback from your end.
Oh, okay.
No, you don't worry. Wherever I don't want to be, so that they can always come back to me if they need to draw my attention. But I'll always see it and then draw the person's attention. Okay, so let's start with our second lecture. We are looking at theories and models of internationalization. There are several theories that guide business people or international marketers as they move into the international market. And we shall go through some of them today, mainly the export motives as well as the APSA, or what we call the stages model, and also we also talk of theories like learning theories and the network theories. So by way of introduction, we'll say that two pertinent questions must be answered from the onset of the internationalization process. That there are two questions that we need to have solution. We need to have answers to them. Like yesterday, I got a question from Abigail asking, what will big firms go out there? What will make them eventually decide to be in the international market? So we are told in this slide that we need to answer two questions before, as a firm, we venture into the international market. Question number one: why does the firm want to internationalize? Because it's not a joke. It's not a fun. It's not something that you can throw away money easily. So first of all, you need to answer the question why you want to do that. For some firms, being in the domestic market is better for you. So before you venture out, ask yourself why you want to do that. Because your going out can make you or it can unmake you. So you need to answer that question. Then number two, the second question that you need to answer is, how will internationalization be achieved? How will internationalization be achieved? And these are the strategies, the tactics, how do you get there? The mode of entry, the strategies. So the first aspect is the motivation. The first question is about the motivation. And then the second question is how you get there. And that is the strategies that you are going to adopt to get in there. So these questions underscore the firm's motive for international business and the strategies it intends to adopt to achieve its goals. So it's not a joke when you say you want to internationalize, you want to get into the international arena. There are many theories that attempt to address these issues. But before we do that, we are going to look at export motives. What motivates firms to export their products and services beyond our country? And we are doing that because Ghana, our internationalization process is mainly exporting. And I will challenge this kind of material because the environment other means by which Ghanaians now send their products and services outside the country. But what we are saying, we will look at the export motives first. What motivates us to go out? Yesterday, we touched on some of them, and we shall look at them in details today. Now, the export motives. The export motives. Export motives answer the question, why do firms engage in exporting? And there are writers like Zinkota, Robunkeni, that there are certain factors that will push us to want to go out there. Albert Martel also talk about some factors. Now, these motives are usually differentiated into what we call internal influences. There are internal influences and there are external influences as well. Why we go out? There are some that are internal, and when we say internal, they are within the firm. They are within the firm. And when we say external, there are factors that are coming from the environment that is pushing you to do the exporting. They can also be classified into what we call proactive and reactive. Proactive and reactive. Mainly the proactive are coming from within. And reactive is what is happening in the environment is pushing you to go into the exporting. Now, the proactive motivations represent stimuli to attempt strategic change. Terminologies like strategic change, you have to underline that. That the proactive is, as I said, is within. So you may want to change your strategy. If you were yesterday, we learned things like the different orientations. We learned the different orientations. Let me pause here and ask whether you remember the different orientations that we learned yesterday. Can I get a hand telling me the different orientations we learned yesterday? I want somebody to put up their hand and then we'll see whether we can do some connection here. The different orientations we learned yesterday. Different orientations. Can somebody just remind? Yesterday we talked about different orientations and I'm explaining strategic change. And I want to bring the... Okay, Joshua, you can go ahead.
Yes, Doc. So, yes. If I remember correctly, we had three of them. We had domestic extension, multi-domestic extension, and globalization.
Precisely. Thank you very much. That's what we learned. So when we talk of strategic change, you can decide to change your orientation, which is within. And that's a strategic shift. Instead of being domestic, you might want to do multi-domestic concept, or you may want to go at the global scale. That's a strategic change. Now, the firm therefore exploits unique competencies to market or market possibilities. These are the pull factors. The examples include you may be looking for profit advantage, unique products, then exclusive information. Alternatively, the firm may go for reactive motivations, influence firms that are responsive to environmental changes and adjust to them by changing their overtime. Okay, so it could be some push factors. It could be some push factors and not pull factors. Push factors such as competitive pressures or declining domestic sales and then excess capacity might also push the firm to go out there. Now, we are saying that the distinction is necessary because it clarifies the nature of the export decision in terms of whether the foreign activity was initiated because of a need for exports or on a voluntary basis to improve an already secure situation. So, for international marketers to decide, we want to know, were you forced or it was kind of voluntary? You believe that you have the capacity, you have the expertise to do business in the international arena, that's why you are going. So always there is a motivation. There is a motivation for firms to go out there. There is something that is motivating them, either within or from something that is chasing them from outside, and then they need to react. Now, all that we are explaining, we have decided to come up with this metric so that it can give us more understanding of what we are talking about. Let me also take you back and what is a motivation? All along I've been mentioning motivation, motives. What is a motivation?
Yes, it's anything that serves as a drive or the passion to move you to do something.
Good. That's it. Anything, usually innate, and we can't see it. We can't understand why firms are behaving in particular ways. There are some things that are driving them within. And remember, every firm, they are managed by human beings, and everything also shapes the firm's behavior. So the motivation is innate drive. Anything that drives us towards working hard towards to achieve certain goals. And several factors will motivate us, either externally or within. Now, let's look at these metrics. And we have tried to put in the internal as well as the external drivers. The internal drivers as well as the external drivers. And then we have also categorized it in the vertical axis, the proactive factors as well as reactive factors. Okay, so the internal factors are within the firm, and the external factors are outside the firm. And you can be proactive towards it, or you are reactive. So proactive means that you are taking initiative before you allow events to overtake you. Reactive means that things have happened in the environment and you are now trying to react to it. Now, let's start with the internal factors. If you look at the internal factors, we have the managerial edge, marketing expertise, economies of scale, unique products, technology tendencies. Okay, so these are proactive. Managerial edge is management. I'm explaining them one after the other. Managerial edge, management now believe themselves that they can do well in the international market. They have acquired the necessary experience and they have the skills. They have the managerial know-how to deal with the international environment. There are some people who are operating in the domestic market believe in themselves. They don't believe that when they go into the international market, they will succeed. And it is true. It's not every manager who will succeed in the domestic market will succeed in the foreign market. Some people are they are local. They understand the local environment when you take them out there, then they will find themselves wanting. So if you believe in yourself that you have the managerial capabilities, then you want to seek the international environment. Business is the international environment. Number two, if you believe in your marketing expertise, the marketing know-how. Some managers will think that yes, they have the capabilities. Their marketing knowledge is such that they can go at a global scale or they can go into the international arena. Then they can make that move. Economies of scale. When we talk of economies of scale, we all know economies of scale have to do with your expansion. You want to expand, be in the domestic market and limit your reach of consumers. And also, when you have a smaller market, your cost of production might tend to be higher than when you expand and you have a bigger market. You can spread the cost, and then the cost of production can come down, and then you can enjoy the economies of scale that we are talking about. And you can price your products and services at a price that is reasonable. Now, economies of scale usually have to do with numbers. So, for example, if you have Ghana as your market, then you are able to access the Nigerian market. We know Ghana populations are hovering around 30 million, and that of Nigeria, they are talking about either 250 million. So if you're able to add that, then your economies of scale will go up. You can distribute to a large number, and your cost of production can come down. Now, we also have unique product. If you think that you have a product that's unique, you may want to take it to the international level. A unique product, that is an advantage that you have, a competitive edge. You may want to send it out into the international market. And if you also have technical competence, if you believe you have come up with something that is, a technology that is not common to everybody, then you might also want to send it out there. I'm told the Zoom platform that we are using, they are based in that. So what kind of thing? I believe in Ghana today, there are some technologies that are going out, but we might not know. That's why I don't want to say that in Ghana. Yes, largely when we talk of internationalization in Ghana, it's about exporting. And I remember recently, even with the coronavirus that we are talking about, there were some things that were, is it a bucket that was developed saying that you don't need to? These are unique products that are coming out, some technical changes, which people might want to send it to the international arena. Now, still on the internal one, those that are reactive, risk diversification, you may want to diversify your risks. Instead of being only in the domestic market. It could be a reason why. Maybe you've expanded to the point that you don't want to concentrate your resources at one place. You want to diversify. That is why you are going into the international arena. You may also want to extend sales of seasonal products. Yeah, there are some products that are reacting. Yesterday we were talking about when you have more than necessary. Then you may want to have excess product. The domestic market is saturated. It cannot absorb it. You may want to send some out, and that's extend sales of seasonal product. I think one example that is clear is the tomato sales between Ghana and that of Burkina Faso, where in some seasons the tomatoes is coming from Burkina, and some other seasons is going from Ghana to the other side of these are seasonal products, and in excess of it, they try to send it across borders. When you also have excess capacity or resources, if you have a lot, your capacity is upgraded, or you have enough resources, you may want to produce and serve the international market, or else it will be wasted. Now we look at the external factors. The external factors, they could be foreign market opportunities for you. Foreign market opportunities. You have an opportunity that's coming from the external market. Why not? You want to grab it. Also, it can occur as a result of what we call change agents activities. You're going into the international market can also occur as a result of change agents activities. This is a terminology that we need to appreciate. What is a change agent? We may have to ask ourselves, what is a change agent? Can I pause here and also get views from the class. What is a change agent? Change agent. Has somebody signed up? Let me see. But don't, if you raise your hand, you can equally talk. If your hand is up, I want to know your understanding of change agents activities, causing firms to take advantage to react to going to the foreign market. Is anybody's hand up? If your hand up and I'm not seeing you, can talk because the class is quiet. Change agent. Okay, I haven't seen a hand up. Okay, so can I go ahead and explain? Abigail, should I go ahead? I want to make sure that the class is with me. Abigail, just say yes. Oh.
No.
Yeah, I hope I've been clear throughout.
Yes, Doc.
Yes, sir. You have. Yes, sir.
I've
You
been clear
have.
throughout, yes. So I just wanted a yes. I wanted you to explain, anybody who can explain change agents. And I didn't get a response from the class. And I wanted you to say, should I explain? I just want yes, so that I will explain. Will somebody say yes?
Sir,
Okay, go ahead,
I should go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes. Now, when we say a change agent, the change agents are firms that create the enabling environment for export or internationalization to take place. Any firm, it could be government, it could be private, that creates an opportunity for firms to take advantage. And I mean, I know, for instance, there are Ministry of Trade created a website for our small businesses to be able to host their products and services at the website. They themselves cannot create their own because they cannot continue to service it, but the Ministry of Trade will have it, and they can place their products and services there at free without necessarily paying something. So Ministry of Trade and Industry is serving as a what? A change agent. Now, a change agent institutions, let me mention them. The Ghana Export Promotion Council is one. It's a change agent. National Investment. Okay. Then the Ministry of Trade itself, the government itself, any private institution that is involved in facilitating these opportunities, they serve as a change agent. So change agents are any institution, be it private or public, that create the enabling environment for firms to take advantage and then be able to export their products and services. Then they serve as change agents. So, yes.
That's a question.
Go ahead.
So when Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, whenever they organize trade shows on their premise,
That is it.
to allow local manufacturing companies, small and medium-sized production firms or manufacturing companies to come together to exhibit their wares. Can you call that a change agent activity as well?
Sure. Ministry of Foreign Affairs will serve as a change agent.
Okay.
Once the firms identify an opportunity there and it has helped you as a result of that activity, and that's why we say it is change agents activities. So the change agents are many, and even including our local assemblies, exporting too can take place at the local level, the national level, the regional level. So all these people are part of the change agents. And let me also say that it includes the banks. The banks can give you facility. So change agents are many. That's why I just group them as what? Both public and what? And private institutions that create the enabling environment for you to be able to do business. And they can change your life. They can make things better for you. They are change agents. So their activities can push some people to go into the foreign market. Good. Now we move to these are proactive factors. So our proactive factors are two here, and that is the foreign market opportunities and then the change agents activities. Yes, our embassies all over the world too, they serve as change agents for us. Now, the reactive side of the external, the first point we have there is unsolicited orders. Unsolicited orders. Unsolicited orders. Spot the person. Okay, spot the person. Okay, so let's look at unsolicited orders. Unsolicited orders is when usually as a domestic firm you are there and then people will either write to your company requesting for your products and services when you haven't made any attempt to cultivate the foreign market. Attempt to cultivate the foreign market, but yet foreigners come, they come from Burkina Faso, they come from Niger to buy your products and services. So all the way from Europe to Ghana, and then they are looking for your product. You haven't sent the products out there. And this is what we call unsolicited orders. So you can be there and such experiences also do come. The request for your products and services without you necessarily making any effort to cultivate the foreign market. Now, the second one, a question there?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Please, with the unsolicited orders, is it necessarily not you making any effort to exploit the external market or the international market? But my question is that an individual within your local market who then knowingly or unknowingly sells your thing within the international market, does it fall under reactive push factors?
Yeah. So that's the unsolicited order. The way I explained it, so that's it. You have no knowledge, but people have taken it out there, and yet requests are coming to you. So it falls under the unsolicited orders. Are you with me?
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Doc, please, with the unsolicited orders,
Yes.
the way you explained, like if you are not prepared and you start getting orders, is it not rather a pull? You are pulling your product to wherever you are taking it to. Is it not a pull reaction, rather?
No, rather you are being pushed. You are being pushed. It's a push factor. Do you get it? So what happens is that you may be able to satisfy them, and even if you are not able to satisfy them both quantity or quality wise, then you begin to sit up. Are you with me?
Yes.
Because you were not expecting it. So it's a push. You've been pushed. It's not a kind of pull. But rather you've been pushed.
Okay.
Yeah, so you sit up from quantity wise as well as quality wise. Now you know that people are coming from abroad to look.
When you go to the change agent,
we are going back to the change agent. Okay, go ahead.
Can the bank be seen as a change agent? Yes, please. Because I didn't get
how
can the bank be seen as change?
Okay, yes. This is how a bank can become a change. I got your question. And this is how a bank can become a change agent. A bank will grant you the necessary facility in terms of loans. If you need loans, do you get it? Yes. So if the bank deny you loan, then it can be, you may have the opportunity and yet you cannot take advantage of it. But if the bank is able to prepare the necessary facilities for you to be able to execute the opportunity that has come your way, then the bank has become a change agent.
Doug, on that same question and your answer given, I'm a bit confused does that mean that until you get to be pushed, and you don't seek for some facility to help you get to the international market, then the bank does not become a change agent? Or you have a situation whereby the bank, sort of like advertise that aspect of their business to say that we are allocating such a quantum of amount that any exporter that falls within a certain bracket can enjoy this facility to promote their wares outside the country. Is that the situation most of the times for the bank being a change agent?
Sure, the bank must be able to, once the bank is able to create an opportunity for you to take advantage of, then the bank serves as a change agent for you. Do you get it? Once they are able to create an opportunity which you can take advantage of. Remember, when that is done, there's not every firm that will be qualified to take advantage of that. But once you are able to, so if they create that opportunity, and maybe the bank sometimes also, though they are financial intermediaries, which they themselves cannot get themselves involved into it, because it doesn't fall within their core mandate. But they can pass it on to their clients who are into that kind of international business, and they will get engaged. The bank serves as a change agent.
Okay,
okay.
I want to see if I can do a connection with the question Abigail asked about the unsolicited orders being a pull factor. Okay. So I look at